Welcome to this edition of Talk with Taz Live. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. How many of you remember Spike Lee's movie, Do the Right Thing? I think about the movie and, it had a cast of characters that you just would not believe. You had Ruby Dee, Ozzie Davis, Danny Iola, Bill Nunn, Martin Lawrence, Rosie Perez, and of course we got Spike there. And then certainly we've got Samuel L. Jackson. This particular movie I've been thinking about, Do the Right Thing, the last couple of days, and this particular movie reminded me of the struggle that we all encounter when we try to do the right thing. Sometimes we've been led to believe that, oh, it's easy, just do what you need to do. Do the right thing. People say it so casually, like it's just a simple thing to do. But in actuality, when you try to do the right thing, you find that it's sometimes a struggle. It's like, at the beginning of the year, we set all these New Year resolutions. I'm going to exercise, I'm going to eat right. And then it's like, can I really give up my favorite dessert? Oh, I like maybe a pasta dish, or I like fried chicken, or whatever it is. Do I have to really give that up? Because that would be the right thing to do if I'm trying to improve my health, or at least limit those things. So, when we look at doing that, we realize it's easier said than done. But the thing is, why is it so easy to say we're going to do the right thing, but harder for us to do the right thing? Well, as I meditated on this, I thought about the internal struggles that we all go through. It's like, I want to do this, I want to do that, but it's like, I can't quite get there. So as I thought about those struggles, several came to mind that might shed a little light on why it's easier said than done to do the right thing. The first one is, how do you balance generosity with not being greedy? Greedy, is it that I'm going after the money, or is it that I want to be benevolent? Well, it's sometimes hard to balance those two things, because we're taught that the golden rule is what should be our guide, but if I do this, am I going to benefit, or is it that everybody else benefit? So balancing the need to be, how do I want to say it, generous with being greedy. The second thing that we sometimes struggle with is remaining humble and not being arrogant. Now, this is what I call the other folks syndrome, meaning that other people may perceive you as being arrogant when actually you're still humble. So what do you mean by that? If I do a certain thing, am I doing it out of a sense of that's the best thing to do? Or is it because I want to show that I have the authority, or I've got the ability to do something? So, it's like, is it my perception, or is it others' perceptions that's guiding my behavior? The third one is understanding that it's okay to be selfless, and that there is a difference between self-centeredness. When you're selfless, that's the strength. Being self-centered, meaning that you don't really take others in consideration. I can take care of myself, but at the same time, not be considered self-centered. Again, those are those adjectives that others use to describe us, but we sometimes buy into it, and it makes it hard for us to do the right thing. The fourth one I want to put out there is this idea of being respectful versus being reserved or cold or aloof. Sometimes people talk about they want respect. And I remember when I was a little girl, they used to say respect was earned. Well, yes, respect is earned, but people use respect sometimes, I think, when they mean something else. Perhaps they mean admiration. Now, we can admire people. I understand, because there are people who have been very successful, people who have skills that we want, people that we quote unquote respect. But there's a fine line between admiration and respect. People use them interchangeably. You know, I like respect. This person likes respect. But do I have to show you respect and become a doormat? Okay. If I'm reserved, meaning it may appear that I'm a little aloof, it doesn't mean that I don't respect you. Do I not have the right to be the person that I am without you feeling subconscious about who you are? Is your self-worth tied to other people making you think that you're the best thing since a bag of chip and Coke? Because if so, that means you're lacking, but you're trying to make me feel as if I am lacking. What I need to keep in mind is do the right thing. Be respectful of everyone, but be careful of who you admire. Because when you start admiring people as if they are quote unquote gods or however you want it, whatever your phrasing would be, then you set yourself up for one, being disappointed, and two, being perhaps used. Manipulated. Let me use that term because people may not understand what I mean by use. Being manipulated. And is it their fault that you're being manipulated or is it your fault? Inquiring minds want to know. But again, those are the 4 things I want you to think about when you're trying to do the right thing and see if those are some of the things that you're dealing with that make it difficult for you to do the right thing. Now, of course, there's a whole nother laundry list of things that you might be experiencing as you struggle to do the right thing. Now, when we do the right thing, that's in our personal life, that's on our jobs, it's with our families, it's with our friends, it's a community, it's doing the right thing. It's not a simple thing to do. But the other thing I want you to keep in mind, when these internal conflicts are happening, they are significant. They're significant. They're telling us something. It's like someone's knocking at the door and we won't go to the door. Or someone's ringing the bell and you say, I'm not going to the doorbell. Go in and look to see who's out there. Because it helps us to identify what our heart's focus is. What your heart's focus is? Yes. Because if my focus is on being greedy, then that's what I'm going to pursue. And that's what your focus is. No judgment, John, here. But that's what your heart is focused on. That's what you're going to pursue. You're going to pursue whatever it is, whatever it takes to get what you want. If your focus is on helping others, you're going to work in a way that then helps you to help others. But the secret with helping others is anytime you help somebody else, you're helping yourself. You may not get it at that moment, but it does come back. The law of reciprocity is in motion, and you're going to get a return on that investment. So again, it identifies what your heart is focused on. And as I said, whatever your heart is focused on, that's what you're going to pursue. And you contribute to that occurring. So when you get something you didn't want, a person you didn't want, a job you didn't want, a situation you really don't want to be dealing with, what were you focused on? What were you focused on? Because you are causing that to happen. It's no one else that's causing it to happen. Whatever you focus on, that's what you're going to pursue. Don't ever forget that. You are driving the car. And if you drive it off a cliff because you were looking at something else instead of watching the road, that's your fault. That is your fault. It's no one else's. You can't blame them. But also, before we go, I want you to consider if it's truly the right thing, why do I fight it? You know, we've talked about 4, things that could be going on, but why do you fight it? Is it that you're afraid of doing the right thing? Is it that you know what's going to happen with these other things, because it's not easy to do the right thing. You can kind of predict what's going to happen if you do the wrong thing, because you've done it before. But when we do the right thing, we have to have something else within us, so a hope, a belief beyond ourselves that it's going to turn out okay. And sometimes in order for that to happen, we have to overcome our fear, the fear of the unknown, the fear sometimes that there's something bigger than us out there, and we don't know if we're in the good side of that or we're on the bad side. Good graces, or we're not in that good graces at all, however you want to look at it. But that's only natural. It's a natural thing because we don't know. All we can do is pursue positive, pursue good things. You know, the song says, may the works I've done speak for me, the life I've lived. Pursue good things. People talk about pursuing excellence. Pursue positive. Because if you're pursuing positive, it will probably be excellent. Because excellence is measured by many things. It's not measured by your bank account. It's not measured by your brand clothes that you wear. It's not measured by your vehicles. It's not measured by where you live. It's measured by your actions and the impact they have. At this time in our life, we've got to learn that it's okay to get out of the proverbial mud that we all get stuck in sometime and do the right thing. Because that one right thing that you do may not only save you, but save many other people. So today, let's decide to do the right thing. Whatever that is for you, whatever you've been struggling with, you know what you need to do. We fight it. I do it too. I talk myself out of stuff, and then I have to stop and say, now you know better. And then I do the right thing. I don't always want to do the right thing. Sometimes when I have to make those decisions, I cry. Sometimes I'm like a little bear. I just, but I do the right thing. And I can tell you this, after doing the right things for, I can't say how many years, but after doing the right thing for so many years, he has never, ever failed me. When I thought I was down for the count, he somehow brought me back up and put me on my feet because I did the right thing. Even though it hurt, even though I didn't want to do it sometimes, I did the right thing. I did the right thing, and I don't regret it. Others don't understand why you make the decisions that you make in life, but do the right thing. You know what the right thing is. Somebody's struggling with something, because we're always struggling with something because we're human beings. You know what the right thing is. Do it. Take a leap of faith and do the right thing, and know that the great architect is there. He already knows what you're going to do, and he's just waiting on you to do it so that he can show you there is reciprocity in doing the right thing. This has been Talk with Taz. As always, take care of you, but the first step in taking care of you is learning to do the right thing for you, regardless of what anyone else thinks, what anyone else says, no matter how they shun you. As I told someone many moons ago, they said to me, well, you've done XYZ, XYZ, but what have you done for us? And I said to them, they talked about Christ. I expect them to talk about me. So let them talk, because they're going to talk. Because remember, if somebody's talking about you, that means they're thinking about you. Now that's another message, another day. So let them talk, but you do the right thing for you. You only have one life to live, and you have to make the decision how you're going to live it. You make that decision. So until next time, take care of you and live your best life so that the best is yet to come. Bye now.